Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri, sundin ng wasto at nararapat. Kagandahang asal ang ipakita, ipadama ang pusong may malasakit. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Sakali mang tayo'y subukin ng unos, ating haharapin ng walang takot. Sasamahan ka ni Fernan at Dino, ang bagong barkada mo. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Nan, anong ginagawa mo?
Ito, gumagawa ng activities sa math tungkol sa coordinate proofs. Ang hirap pala.
Palagay ko, Nan, makakatulong sa iyo kung papanoorin mo ang ating teacher lecturer sa araw na ito. Balita ko, tungkol dyan ang magiging talakayan.
Talaga ba?
Tama si Dino, Nan. O ano pang hinihintay natin? Tara!
Let's watch and learn!
Good morning, Fernandino viewers, especially my dear Fernandino teens. I am Ma'am Rowena C. Santiago, and I will be your math teacher for today. Our lesson about the Cartesian plane will be our stepping stone to another interesting topic today. Welcome to the world of mathematics and enjoy our lesson. Our session is about coordinate proof using the midpoint formula, distance between 2 points, and the slope formula. As you watch this episode, you are expected to first use coordinate proof to verify properties of geometric figures, and second, relate the concept of coordinate proofs in real-life situations. Let us recall our previous lesson by playing the balloon game. You may write your answers on the comment box if you're watching via YouTube. If not, then you may use paper and pen. Okay, let us begin. Number 1, ordered pair 0, 0 is also known as the A, ordinate, B, abscissa, C, origin, D. Center. What is your answer? Very good. The answer is C. Origin. Number 2. What is the distance between the 2 points? Point A, 2, 5, and point B, 2, negative 1. A, 4 units. B, 5 units. C, 7 units. D, 6 units. What is your answer? Amazing! The answer is D, 6 units. Number 3. What is the distance between the 2 points? Point C, 4, 6, and point D, negative 1, 6. A, 4 units. B, 7 units. C, 6 units. D, 5 units. What is your answer? Superb! The answer is D, 5 units. Number 4. Which of the following is the correct midpoint formula? Given 2 endpoints, x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2, y sub 2. Here are the choices. What is the answer? Terrific! The answer is A. Number 5. What are the coordinates of the midpoint of the points E, 4, 3, and F, 6, 7? A, negative 5, 5. B, 5, negative 5. C, negative 5, negative 5. D, 5, 5. What is the answer? Very good. The answer is D, 5, 5. Number 6. Given the ordered pairs x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2, y sub 2. Which is the correct distance formula? Here are the choices. What is your answer? Excellent. The answer is C. Number 7. Find the distance between the 2 points G, 1, negative 9, and age 7, negative 1. A, 8 units. B, 9 units. C, 10 units. D, 11 units. What is your answer? Very good. The answer is C, 10 units. Number 8. What is the slope formula? What is the answer? Amazing! The answer is A. Number 9. The slopes of parallel lines are A, the same, B, opposite, C, negative, reciprocal, D, always different. What is the answer? Very good. The answer is A, the same. Number 10. If the slope of line 1 is 1/2, what is the slope of the line perpendicular to it? If your answer is C, negative 2, then you are correct. Did you enjoy the balloon game, Fernandino teens? I bet you did. Now that you have recalled the formulas of distance between 2 points, midpoint of a segment, and slope of a line, we are ready to apply this in verifying properties of geometric figures. So let us have this problem. The barangay captain and his staff have made a survey in Lourdes to identify the houses of the students who are included in the immunization schedule for ages 18 years old and above. The coordinates of the vertices represent the houses of the students. House A with coordinates 0, 0. House B with coordinates 4, 0. House C with coordinates 4, 4. And House D with coordinates 0, 4. A. What figure is formed by the points? B. How will you prove that the figure formed is a square? Before we answer this problem, let us first have a short break before we answer this problem. So stay tuned, Bernardino teens!
Ang Schools Division Office City of San Fernando, Pampanga ay kaisa ng Department of Education sa pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa na tumutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mag-aaral. Inilunsad ang Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors upang magbigay ng educational at psychological assistance sa mga mag-aaral, magulang at stakeholders ng Division. Kaya, kung may nais kayong itanong tungkol sa pag-aaral, maaaring magpadala ng mensahe sa Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors Facebook page o tumawag sa mga numero na makikita sa ibaba ng inyong screen tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa ganap na alas 8 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Maaari rin kayong sumangguni sa ating guidance counselors na nagbibigay ng guidance and counseling services. Lahat ng inyong ibabahagi ay mananatiling confidential. Ang nasabing programa ay nagsisilbing daan upang malaman ang feedbacks ng stakeholders para matulungan ang ating divisyon na mapagbuti pa ang mga sumusunod na programa. Ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Tumawag na sa aming mga numero o bumisita na sa aming Facebook page at magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
We are back to Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. A while ago, we had this problem. The barangay captain and his staff have made a survey in Lourdes to identify the houses of the students who are included in the immunization schedule for ages 18 years old and above. The coordinates of the vertices represent the houses of the students. House A with coordinates 0, 0. House B with coordinates 4, 0. House C with coordinates 4, 4. And House D with coordinates 0, 4. A. What figure is formed by the points? Very good. As we plot the points on the Cartesian plane, it is a square. B. How will you prove that the figure formed is a square? Before we show or prove that ABCD is a square, let us first define coordinate proof. The coordinate proof is a proof of a geometric theorem, which uses generalized points on the Cartesian plane to make an argument. In other words, some geometric theorems on the plane figures can easily be proven using coordinate geometry, which is a system of geometry where the position of points on the plane is described using coordinates or ordered pairs. There are 4 steps to follow. Plot the points, draw the figure, and label. State the formulas you will be using. Show all work. Have a concluding sentence stating what you have proven and why it is true. Usually, a theorem or a definition is needed here. Let us prove that ABCD is a square. Starting off with the first step, plot the points. Draw the figure and label. Point A with coordinate 0, 0. Point B with coordinates 4, 0. Point C with coordinates 4, 4. and point D with coordinates 0, 4. Second step, state the formulas you will be using. Before we determine the formulas, let me ask you, what is a square? Great, Fernandino teens! A square is a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. Using the distance formula, we can show that the 4 sides are equal. The distance formula is equal to the square root of the square of the quantity of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 plus the square of the quantity of y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Then, to show that the angles are right angles, we can use the slope formula. Do you still remember the slope formula? If yes, write your answer in the comment section. If your answer is m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1, then you are correct. Third step, show all work. We have to prove that AB equals BC equals CD equals AD using the distance formula. Given A with coordinates 0, 0, B with coordinates 4, 0, substitute the values of x sub 2, x sub 1, y sub 2, and y sub 1 in the formula. AB is equal to the square root of the square of the quantity 4 minus 0 plus the square of the quantity 0 minus 0. Simplifying the equation, AB equals the square root of 4 squared plus 0 squared. As we continue, it will be AB equals the square root of 16. So, distance AB is equal to what? Great! 4 units. Given B with coordinates 4, 0, C with coordinates 4, 4. Distance BC is equal to the square root of the square of the quantity 4 minus 4 plus the square of the quantity 4 minus 0. Simplifying the equation, BC equals the square root of 0 squared plus 4 squared. Then, BC equals the square root of 16. Therefore, distance BC is equal to, yes, 4 units. Given C with coordinates 4, 4, D with coordinates 0, 4, distance CD is equal to the square root of the square of the quantity 4 minus 0 plus the square of the quantity 4 minus 4. Simplifying the equation, CD equals the square root of 4 squared plus 0 squared. Then, CD equals the square root of 16. Therefore, distance CD is equal to, yes, 4 units. Given A with coordinates 0, 0, D with coordinates 0, 4. Distance AD is equal to the square root of the square of the quantity 0 minus 0 plus the square of the quantity 0 minus 4. Simplifying the equation, AD equals the square root of 0 squared plus negative 4 squared. Then, AD equals the square root of 16. Therefore, distance AD is equal to, yes, 4 units. What can you say about the lengths? AB equals DC equals AD equals BC. Very good. To complete our proof, we have to show that the 4 angles are right angles. Using the slope formula, M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, will you solve for the slopes of AB and BC, AD and CD? Given A with coordinates 0, 0, B with coordinates 4, 0, substitute the values y sub 2, y sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 1 in the formula. Slope AB is equal to 0 minus 0 divided by 4 minus 0. So, the slope of AB is equal to 0. Given B with coordinates 4, 0, C with coordinates 4, 4, slope BC is equal to 4 minus 0 divided by 4 minus 4. The slope of BC is undefined. Given C with coordinates 4, 4, D with coordinates 0, 4, slope CD is equal to 4 minus 4 divided by 0 minus 4. The slope of CD is equal to 0. Given A with coordinates 0, 0, D 0, 4, slope AD is equal to 4 minus 0 divided by 0 minus 0. The slope of AD is undefined. What can you say about the two sides, AB and BC, AD and CD? You are right. They are perpendicular. What can you say about the angles? Very good. Lines which are perpendicular form right angles. Step number 4. Conclusion. Since AB equals DC equals AD equals BC and AB is perpendicular to BC and CD is perpendicular to AD. Therefore, the figure has 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. Hence, it is a square. Now, are you ready to have some more challenges using coordinate proof? All geometric figures in the coordinate plane can easily be proven using coordinate proof. Let us try this. Use coordinate proof to show that the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. How is this problem different from the previous example? Very good, Fernandino teens. There are no given points. How are we going to solve this problem? When we return, we are going to discover how this problem will be solved. So, don't go away, we will be right back.
Maya po oras kaya kayo, Fernandinos. Ako pala ay Elwin Arl Serrano ng City Tourism Office ng Siyudad San Fernando. Ngayong bulan na ini, pagmasusyantaya ang National Heritage Month na ating temang Victory and Humanity, Upholding Filipino Heritage and Identity. Kambena nini, metong karang aktibidades na ng siyudad, apin ng launching ng bayong Heritage Passport. Yung Heritage Passport, apin ng metong karing proyekto ng kakatamong siyudad, yung pamanamuna ng Mayor Edwin D. Santiago. Anong nuka rin makalagelangan ding eganagan ng heritage sites, heritage structures, naakit tamo kin kay katamong heritage district. Makakayado din kini, ding importansya da ding mapil na tradisyon kay ni syudad, kalupa na ning pamangawang parol, ang po yung pamangalesa. May awo siyang heritage passport, uling atin kang dapat gawan, anong nukaran puntalan mo lading at yung passport, at saka ka mag-selfie. Kay ba't kanta, palto making tourism office, at mamiyalang sticker ka rin eganagan ng apuntulan mong lugar. At timaw may ngari ang tutong passport. Balo mi ngeni, panahon na ini, etamo makain bisa lumal, uli na ng COVID-19 pandemic. Kaya naman kimbanwa nga ini, agkatan ko la ding bikers tamo, edad 18 hanggang 50, imbis na lumaot kayo po, di na nyo lang dita ka oras di kaya katamong heritage structures, kaya ni syudad. Anya naman karing mumunang 50 bikers ang makayari kay katamang heritage passport, midinan lang premyong only San Fernando loot bag. Inggawan nyo mo bakan ta makapag-register, munta kayo mismo opisina na ng City Tourism, king munisipyo, at saka kayo magdalang metong valid ID. Kabinan kaya kayong heritage passport, ating makasipit ang instruction nung nano pa ing dapat gawan. Anya naman ka rin hanggang kapadyakin, nanano ko pa, tara na!
Fernandino Teens TV.
We are back to Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. Earlier, I have asked you to show how the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent using coordinate proof, even though there are no given points. How are we going to do it? Let us follow the steps which I have previously shared. Step 1. Plot the points, draw the figure, and label. Since the points in the Cartesian plane are not given, here are some suggestions in drawing the geometric figure. Are you ready? Letter A. Place one of the vertices of the geometric figure at the origin 0, 0. Letter B. Place at least one side of the geometric figure on a coordinate axis, either the x or the y-axis. Letter C. Keep the figure within the first quadrant, if possible. Letter D. Use coordinates that will make proving as simple as possible. After plotting all the given points, all the suggestions are satisfied. Step 2. State the formulas you will be using. We must prove that the two diagonals are equal using the distance formula. Distance is equal to the square root of the square of the quantity of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 plus the square of the quantity of y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Will you name the two diagonals? Great! AC and BD. Step number 3, show all work. By the distance formula, show that diagonals AC and BD are equal. Given A with coordinates 0, 0, B with coordinates A, 0, C with coordinates AB, D with coordinates 0B. Distance is equal to the square root of the square of the quantity of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 plus the square of the quantity of y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Substitute the values of x sub 2, x sub 1, y sub 2, and y sub 1 in the formula. We need to prove that AC equals BD. AC is equal to the square root of the quantity 0 minus A plus the square of the quantity 0 minus B. To simplify, we get AC is equal to the square root of the square of A plus the square of B. BD is equal to the square root of the quantity A minus 0 plus the square of the quantity 0 minus B. To simplify, we get BD is equal to the square root of the square of A plus the square of B. Step number 4. Conclusion. Since AC equals the square root of the sum of the squares of A and B, and BD equals the square root of the sum of the squares of A and B, Then, AC equals BD by substitution. Therefore, AC is congruent to BD. The diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Now, are you ready to have some more challenges using the formulas in proving coordinate proof? I am certain that it is a yes. Let us do the proof together. Let us prove the triangle midsegment theorem, which states that the segment connecting the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and exactly half the length. What will be the first step in proving the triangle midsegment theorem? Very good. Plot the points, draw the figure and label, and take the suggestions in drawing the geometric figure. A. Place one of the vertices of the geometric figure at the origin, 0, 0. B. Place at least one side of the geometric figure on a coordinate axis, either the x or the y axis. C. Keep the figure within the first quadrant, if possible. D. Use coordinates that will make proving as simple as possible. Prove that xy is parallel to PR and xy equals 1/2 of PR. Step number 2, using the midpoint formula. Midpoint equals x sub 2 plus x sub 1 divided by 2, and y sub 2 plus y sub 1 divided by 2. The coordinates of the midpoints of x and y based on the figure are midpoints x and y, which are also called as what? Yes, medians. Step number 3, show all work. For median x, we have 0 plus b divided by 2, 0 plus c divided by 2. Simplifying the coordinates of x, we have b over 2, c over 2. For median y, we have a plus b divided by 2, 0 plus c divided by 2. Simplifying the coordinates of y, we have a plus b divided by 2, c over 2. Now let us apply the slope formula. M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Substituting the x coordinates and the y coordinates, we have m equals c over 2 minus c over 2 divided by b over 2 minus a plus b divided by 2. The numerator is 0 and the denominator is a over 2. Then, as we divide 0 by a over 2, the quotient is 0. What we have done for xy applies to with PR. xy is parallel to PR. Remember that the slopes of parallel lines are equal. Moreover, the slopes of horizontal lines are equal to 0. Now, compare the lengths of the two segments, subtracting the x coordinates or the abscissas. We get xy equals a plus b all over 2 minus b. over 2 equals A over 2. Subtracting the abscissas of PR, we get PR equals A minus 0 equals A. Comparing the two distances, we can say xy is 1/2 of PR. Step number 4, conclusion. Therefore, xy is parallel to PR and xy is 1/2 of PR. We have had an interesting proof about the triangle midsegment theorem. There you have it, Fernandino teens. We have just shown suggestions on how to simplify proving, and at this point, you are ready to solve for another problem. But we will have the challenge after a short break. We will be right back.
Hindi lamang sa larangan ng pangkabuhayan apektado ang maraming pamilyang Pilipino, kundi maging sa larangan ng pagkatuto ng bawat batang Pilipino. Inilunsad ng siyudad ng San Fernando ang programang Nurturing Environment and System for Thriving or NEST, isang education community pantry na naglalayon para sa isang malawakang pagtulong, pagantabay at paggabay na ang focus ay ang makapagbigay ng tulong at suporta sa ating mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng educational needs gaya na lamang ng school supplies, tutorial sessions, study tips, at iba pang mga pamamaraan na mas lalong makatutulong sa pag-angat ng ating edukasyon. Dahil hindi hadlang ang pandemya sa magandang kinabukasang naghihintay sa ating mga mag-aaral. Sino-sino nga ba ang mga kalahok sa programang ito? Sa pagtutulungan ng ating school administrators, guro, magulang, at iba pang mga miyembro ng ating komunidad gaya ng barangay officials at sangguniang kabataan ay siguradong magiging mas matagumpay ang programang ito. Paano nga ba ang magiging proseso ng naturang programa? Una, magkakaroon tayo ng isang Facebook group, ang Pampanga High School NEST Education Community Pantry na pangungunahan ng Educational Pantry Coordinator. Ang mga magulang, tagapangalaga at mga guro ay ia-add ng ating Educational Pantry members sa Facebook group na ito. Sa page na ito maaaring i-post ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga o sino mang miyembro ng Educational Pantry ang kanilang mga kahilingan o requests. Kailangan ding ilagay ang pangalan ng mag-aaral, grade at section para sa mas agarang aksyon. Oo nga pala, hindi lang requests ang pwedeng i-post. Pwede ring mag-post ang mga nais magbigay ng tulong o mga gustong mag-donate. Sabi nga nila, sharing is caring. Tandaan na ang Facebook group na ito ay pribado at posts na may kaugnayan lamang sa page na ito ang maaaprobahan. Mayroon din palang Google Form na ipamamahagi kung saan maaari nating isumite ang ating requests o kahilingan. Paano naman ang mga walang internet access sa bahay? Huwag mangamba dahil merong mga nakalaang drop boxes ang ating paaralan na kung saan maaaring ihulog ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang kanilang requests. Sa mga nais namang mag-donate ng school supplies, maaaring ilagay ang mga ito sa tabi ng drop boxes. Maaari ring mag-donate ng mga kagamitan o cash donation kaakibat ang pagsusumite ng deed of donation form. Pangalawa, mahalaga ang ugnayan ng mga guro at ng mga magulang o tagapangalaga sa programang ito. Gamit ang video calls o chats ay ipahahayag ng mga guro ang adhikain ng programang ito sa mga magulang o tagapangalaga. Maaari ring gawin ang orientation na ito ng face-to-face kasabay ng schedule ng kuhanan ng mga module. Gaya ng nabanggit, hindi lamang mga bagay ang maaaring i-donate. Pwede ring mag-conduct ng tutorial session, study tips, at iba pang mga kagamitan sa pagkatuto gaya ng mga aklat o kaya ay gadgets. Ikatlo, ang requested needs ng ating mga magulang o tagapangalaga ay ililista ng ating NEST focal person. Ang mga coordinator naman ang mag-aayos ng mga ito. Ang advisors ng ating mga mag-aaral, guidance counselor, at iba pang mga guro ay ipaaalam sa ating mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang petsa at oras ng pamimigay ng requested needs na gaganapin sa paaralan. Sabi nga nila, it takes a village to raise a child. Kaya naman aktibo at iba yung pakikilahok ang inaasahan sa pagsasanib puwersa ng paaralan at barangay na siyang tutukoy sa pangangailangan ng bawat Fernandinong mag-aaral at kikilos upang matugunan ito sa tulong at suporta rin ng mga miyembro ng komunidad. Isang malawakang komunidad para sa isang produktibong educational community pantry ay tiyak na lilikha ng iba yung pagkilos upang maging mas magaan at madali ang pagkatuto ng bawat kabataang Fernandino. Kaya naman tandaan, magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back to Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. Now, let us continue our session by answering another challenge. You are expected to solve a real-life problem with the use of coordinate proof. Are you ready? Many students and their families have been affected by the spread of COVID-19. The medical team and advisors of the Pampanga High School have made a survey to identify low-income students who will be included among the priority list of the PHS Educational Pantry. The coordinates of the vertices of the board represents the house of the low-income students. Prove or disprove that the quadrilateral defined by the points A with coordinates 2, 4, B with coordinates 1, 2, C with coordinates 5, 1, D with coordinates 4, negative 1 is a parallelogram. To prove that it is a parallelogram, remember that the definition of a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides. Therefore, one way to prove that it is a parallelogram is to verify that the opposite sides are parallel. From algebra, remember that two lines are parallel if they have the same slope. Find the slope of each side and label it on the picture. What is the formula in getting the slope? Slope equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Considering the shorter sides of the figure, substituting the coordinates in the formula, we have, for the first shorter side, m equals 4 minus 2 divided by 2 minus 1 equals 2 over 1, or simply 2. For the second shorter side, we have m equals 1 minus negative 1 divided by 5 minus 4 equals 2 over 1, or simply 2. Upon solving for the slopes, what do we conclude? Very good. We conclude that the two shorter sides of the figure are parallel since their slopes are equal. Now, let us have the longer sides. For the first longer side, we have m equals 4 minus 1 divided by 2 minus 5 equals 3 over negative 3, or simply negative 1. For the other longer side, we have m equals 2 minus negative 1 divided by 1 minus 4 equals 3 over negative 3, or simply negative 1. Based on what we have obtained, what do we conclude? Great! We conclude that the two longer sides of the figure are parallel since their slopes are equal. Now, what can you say about the figure? That is right. The slopes of the opposite sides are equal. Therefore, the opposite sides are parallel. Hence, the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. All right, at this point, let us summarize what we have learned about the coordinate proof by answering the activity, Complete Me. You will be asked to fill in the blanks on the following statements. You may use the comment box in expressing your answers. I will only give you 5 seconds to fill in each blank. Number 1. The blank is a proof of a geometric theorem which uses generalized points on the Cartesian plane to make an argument. What is the answer? Good job. The answer is coordinate proof. Number 2. The distance between 2 points can be determined using the formula blank. What is the answer? Very good. The answer is distance is equal to the square root of the square of the quantity of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 plus the square of the quantity of y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Number 3. Suppose you are given 2 points on the plane, x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2, y sub 2, and you are asked to find the point halfway between them. The coordinates of this midpoint will be blank. What is the answer? That is right. The answer is m equals x sub 1 plus x sub 2 divided by 2. Y sub 1 plus y sub 2 divided by 2. Number 4. If possible, keep the figure within the blank quadrant. What is the answer? Correct. First quadrant. Number 5. Use the blank as vertex or center of a figure. What is the answer? Correct. Origin. Very good, Fernandino teens. You have obtained the correct answers. To sum up our lesson, there are 4 steps in showing coordinate proof. 1. Place one of the vertices of the geometric figure at the origin 0, 0. 2. Place at least one side of the geometric figure on a coordinate axis, either the x or the y axis. 3. Keep the figure within the first quadrant if possible. 4. Use coordinates that will make proving as simple as possible. These are the references that I have used in this episode. I hope you have learned so much from our session today about the coordinate proof. Knowing and understanding, it will provide you opportunities to prove the various theorems that involve geometric figures. In real life, locations, distances, displacements, and vectors that can be proven congruent, parallel, perpendicular, and the like using the Cartesian plane, concepts on coordinate proof can be applied. Always remember, through this program, quality lessons can be delivered to your doorsteps. So make sure that you watch it religiously. Again, this is Mrs. Rowena Santiago, your teacher-lecturer for today, saying, theorems involving geometric figures are proven through coordinate system. Our faith in God can be demonstrated by our obedience to His commandments. With this in mind, we shall always remember that we need to strictly follow the steps I have shared to apply the concepts of coordinate proof, just like how we obey the commandments of the Lord. God bless and keep safe, everyone.
O ano, Nan? Gets mo na ba?
Fairness ha, marami akong natutuhan. Akala ko mahirap ang coordinate proofs. Ang dali lang pala basta nagkikinig kang mabuti.
Oo nga, buti na lang at na-explain ng mabuti sa atin ni Ma'am Rowena ang lahat ng patungkol sa proving coordinate proofs.
Kaya nga, ang dami na naman nating natutuhan sa araw na ito. Kaya naman,
Maraming salamat, ma'am.
Isa na namang makabuluhang talakayan ng ating natunghayan, Fernandino Teens.
magkita-kita tayong muli sa susunod na episode ng
Fernandino
Teens
TV.
Season 2. Saan ang kabatang Fernandino ay angat
Yakapin mo ang bagong pag-asa. Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri, sundin ng wasto at nararapat. Kagandahang asal ang ipakita, ipadama ang pusong may malasakit.